So we'll see. We'll see how we go here as we get into the game.
The computer is really slow to them, by the way. I don't know why. The tab I open, it just opens up slowly.
Oh.
It's incredibly... Anyway. We are... Lightshade, for those who don't know, the lightest of all the maps in the map, but that's why it's called Lightshade. Except it isn't, it's just gray. In the northwest corner of the map, all the way from the land of Mexico, representing Alpha X, our blue Protoss is in fact Pacomike.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is red. He is opening up with an early pool. It is, of course, TheZergLord.
I think it's like less than 200, but I'm getting like 20 FPS.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Something is it's my computer is just not working. It's 5 a.m. It's like, nah, man. What? I know the power for this. I did just turn it on. It's not like it's been, downloading porn all night or something, which it did. She's not doing on a regular basis.
It happens from time to time.
Downloading porn? No.
Oh god. Speaking of which, the Lings, they do of course make it across the map. Pacomike is forced to pull some boys to keep his Zealot alive to make sure he doesn't get surrounded. Oh.
And of course the pile, well, you don't want to get that pile lost. Otherwise your main production is deep immediately and kind of Pacomike is handling it pretty well. Not even pulling a lot of probes for this.
Yeah, so far he's been good, but oh my god, it looks like the Zealot gets surrounded.
But the Adept is so, should be okay.
Yeah, it should be. So far, the ZergLord is doing a really good job at keeping the Adept busy while he's trying to focus down this pylon, and it looks like the pylon will go down.
Looks like... he shut down some services.
Boy, hopefully he does help out. But yeah, so far the ZergLord, he has dealt a lot of damage already, getting the Zealot, getting the pylon, depowering and delaying Warp Gate. Like, honestly, this is pretty big so far. Like, this is a pretty impressive start by the ZergLord.
Yeah, and it is keeping the Protoss busy, preventing the whatever build Pacomike was on for. Got annoyed, seriously annoyed. Even if it didn't take a lot of damage. The ZergLord taking a third base while this is going on. A bit of a late one, but you kind of concentrate on the early harassment. You have to take that base a little late.
Yeah, exactly. He also had I like that he didn't neglect his gases either. That's another one of the weaknesses when you go for an early pull like this, is everything else gets delayed, so he did prioritize that a little bit more. Oh god, hopefully he doesn't lose too much of these Adepts.
It's 3 probes so far, drones, Zerg probes. 5, don't think that's it. It's a nice retaliation by Pacomike. Keeps the ZergLord behind in terms of workers, which is never where you want to be as a Zerg. Yeah. The Void Rays are out. Common. Actually, it's only one, so because it looks like Pacomike is getting a Twilight Council.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a...
We'll see if Pacomike can scout that. Right now, Pacomike, we'll see if the ZergLord can scout that. He does dive in and he sees the Stargate. He is headed towards the natural and there's nothing that shoots up, so he should be able to spot that Twilight Council.
Yeah, the Void Ray is not going to be out in time to deny that scout. The ZergLord is getting a Roach Warren. He does see the Twilight Council. He's researching as well. Doesn't know there's Glaive Adepts coming. I don't know if that's what you'll assume at
I
this
mean,
moment.
thankfully, he did see it researching, so he knows that he needs some anti-ground army, right? He knows that that's what he has to focus on. So thankfully, he already has that roach warren. He's working on roaches. Whether or not he expects adepts, I mean, at least he will have something on the ground to help against them.
Mm-hmm. Is sneaking in. I'm gonna get a few overlords here. There are not a lot of weeks for ZergLord here. I got 6 in total, but there's only one of them in.
Yeah, we see
waddling across the map.
Yeah, we see why the ZergLord, he's just marching across the map. He wants to try and end the game, and this is a massive commitment. The problem is that this works well against double Stargate Void Ray. Against Glaive Adepts, we'll see. Oh, the Lynx actually managed to slip in. We'll see if this is enough to really break Pacomike. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It's around. Sentries are being more working, so they have some force fields available, but they're not using them.
No, they are not. The Cyber Core does go down, which means no more Adepts or Stalkers are going to be worked in. Only Zealots, and honestly, like, with the Flood of Lings, like, the ZergLord, he's looking to try and break into the natural.
I have literally 1 FPS. It's a slideshow.
Oh, no! The ZergLord is attacking Steelmold's PC. Pacomike, he's trying to stop him. He's trying, but oh god, there's just so much Zerg here. Everything's getting depowered.
Overcharged.
Yeah, it is
used, but there's not much to be used on. But there aren't any units here.
Exactly. The boys are pulled off the line. Yo, if Pacomike is able to hold on here, then he can continue on in this game. He's taking a couple of biles to the Void Rays, but you know what? All the queens go down, and with that, so do all the Ravagers.
Yeah. The Void Rays survived longer than I expected them to. Now there's barely anything that shoots up. I mean, it's just biles, and you can dodge them, or not.
We spoke too soon. He could.
You can also not. It's an option.
He could choose to dodge them. Unfortunately, he didn't. So this is the big thing. I was about to say that because Pacomike survived with a third base, like, he's honestly in a pretty good position. But it looks like the third is going to go down. Oh, will it?
Clutch save.
Oh my god.
This is where you build a shield back here. Charge your.
He needs to. The Lynx are coming back in. The force fields, no!
I just saw a Nexus exploding in slow motion. It's pretty cool, actually. There's a lot more to that animation than I thought there is. Alright. Oh, the ZergLord definitely comes back to the game. Now in a favorable position. Taking fourth base against X. Now going down to 2 bases. There's not much of a retaliation that Pacomike can mount at this moment. Other than harass with Void Rays maybe or something.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that Pacomike, he's trying to still get that third base up and running. Like, it's very ambitious for him, and it puts a lot of pressure on him to harass, right? He's like, because he wants to get back into this game economically, and he's still behind. So right now, like, he is forced to make something happen with these Adepts and with these Void Ray, and I mean, he's feeling confident, or he feels like maybe he can do it.
I mean, the Adepts, they could play off line, but it's sort of easy here. 10 drone kills. This is pretty cool. The Void Ray going to go down to the Queen. Get off my lawn. This is my creep.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. The Void Ray goes down for nothing, essentially. He was trying to kill the gas. The Adepts, though, they dealt a lot of damage, and they were able to even up the worker count, which is great. But what about the army? Yeah.
The army, puppy. There are a couple of Immortals and Sentries here, so, has a chance to delay TheZergLord's attack here and even up the numbers. It's gonna be a rough one though. There are no shield batteries here. There is an hour call out. TheZergLord may not be in the best of positions here though. And he put it from behind, gonna get Funarad.
Oh god, and that's the problem. Like, sure, there are immortals, but there's just nothing to protect them. We do have a couple of units being warped in, but there's just not enough. The Roach Ravager is trying to get on top of the immortals, and somehow, someway, the immortals are surviving. Oh.
It's not for long though. The war is out. All the backup for the immortals is out. The Zerg surround them, and they're going to go down. And this is it for Pacomike. There's not much else he can do.
Yeah, exactly. The third goes down, and now Pacomike, as you said, like, he's just barely got anything going for him. He's got a couple of Archons being morphed in, which is great and all, but again, he could have done with that so much sooner, as he loses the third base for the second time.
Starting to stake out Archons, you know you're in trouble. GG's called.
GG, well played. The TheZergLord takes game number 1 after a very aggressive opener, and he was able to keep up that aggression. Pacomike, he was almost able to hold on there, but god, maybe if he was able to keep his third alive that like first time, that initial time.
Yeah, because TheZergLord did a bit of damage early on, and Pacomike really, I mean, it did enough of a retaliation. You know, a couple of adepts taking out, what was it, 6 drones or 7 or 5?
Yeah, they
I don't remember numbers.
It's like, yeah,
it was enough to keep TheZergLord behind with that full first opening. You know, you full force, you really cannot take early damage like that at all. But Pacomike took too long to actually close the deal there, and the lottery happens sometimes. Alright, so Beckett Industries is going to be our next map.
Okay.
I'm trying to close like all the tabs and everything, everything I can. Just give me some frames. I know why Firefox is like open like 50 times. It's opening like a cross for every tab that's open. Why is battle.net.exe open up like 3 times? Is this what's slowing everything down? The hell, man.
Maybe.
We close the battle.net client thingy.
Oh boy. It's okay. We may almost be there. We're getting into game number 2. Of course, the TheZergLord, he's already up 1-0. Oh boy. It's looking to maybe take the series.
Yeah, the TheZergLord looking pretty strong. Oh, I found your camera quickly for a change. Alright, everyone, welcome to Beckett Industries. Beckett Industries, we take over things for you, so that you don't have to. That's why you hired us. To take all your money. We're a corporation. We're good at that. In the southwest corner of the map. All the way from the land of Mexico. Representing Alpha X, it is our blue Protoss. Pacomike.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, and this is what I'm worried about once again, and going for that 12 full, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Team The Bad. It is the TheZergLord.
Alright, let's pull first again.
And this is terrifying because specifically on Beckett Industries, 12 pool hits faster than any other map, even submarine. So this is dangerous. Even though Pacomike sees this, I worry for him right now.
Yeah, and this is serious. There's 8 Zerglings coming out on the map. LinkedIn is already out. 2 more are added. Is what's going to be 10 Zerglings. 8 Zerglings before hatch. It's a pretty aggressive start.
Oh yeah, and the Lings
zones are here.
Yep, they are already here. The Zealot was chronoed out, thankfully, by Pacomike. He also pulled a lot of probes here to make sure it stays alive.
Yep. They did seem to hold against the attack pretty well in the last game, and it seems to be a decent defense as well here.
Oof.
One probe going down. The Adept is being chronoed out. I think there are more Zerglings than there were in the previous game.
Yeah, there definitely are. And even though there were more probes in the previous game, it looks like there are enough Lings to really try and surround. But the control has been pretty good by Pacomike. He survives long enough. No! Ah!
The one thing you couldn't lose right now. ZergLord trying to work on that pylon, instead going to go work on the probes.
Yeah.
No more reinforcements coming out across the map, so this is not going to be the end. ZergLord is droning up. It's actually did less damage he did in the previous game.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end. Oh god. In the end, 4 probes went down, and that Adept, as you were saying, like losing the Adept like that is huge because ideally you have 2 Adepts across the map to, one-shot probes, one-shot workers. But because there's only 1, like it's so much less threatening here.
Yeah. One drone gets killed, another one gets saved. And that's it. Only 1 drone goes down. This is a much better start for the ZergLord than in the previous game. And look at that game turned out. I think Pacomike is in a lot of trouble unless he manages to do some serious counter damage. The ZergLord.
Yeah, the worrisome thing is that the ZergLord, he goes in, he scouts, he knows that it is a Stargate opening, and because we're on Beckett Industries, again, I'm surprised it's made it through the vetoes, it's going to be difficult for Pacomike to get into a longer game, like get up to like 4 bases, which is what Pacomike wants. Like he wants to get into like carriers, he wants to get into Skytoss. That's what he like flourishes in. Oh god, we'll see if he can get there.
Mass Void Ray. Go Mass Void Ray. It's what you already have. Go with it. It's pretty good against Zerg. Zergs hate them.
And we'll see.
Yes. He's getting a second update.
We'll see if he commits to the Void Rays. The big thing that we have to keep an eye out, because I mentioned it before, Pacomike, he loves going for a fast fleet beacon if he can. Right now, okay, never mind. He's queued up a 3rd Void Ray, so he is going to play a lot more standard. He is going to go for a solid like maybe 6 Void Rays to defend, and then eventually work on towards carriers.
Yeah. Using them to kill overlords, sort of pretty good. You gotta make those Void Rays useful. Is that I thought that was an overlord in Pacomike's base, but it turns out to just be a pixel on the map that looks kind of red.
God damn it.
There should be rules about the contrast on the minimap for like colors, well, not contrast, the saturation of colors.
Shaking my head.
They really dropped the ball on the graphics. Blizzard. It's yeah, the minimap is very confusing.
Yeah, it does take some getting used to, especially on a new map like this, where it's using colors that we aren't used to on like ladder maps.
Things are changing, and I don't like it, but things change.
Like back in my day, everything was white or gray. Like, maybe a jungle, maybe like a cyber forest, but
yeah. Actually, that's what I did in the in Brood War. I used to try and get the brown color because you know you literally can't see it on the minimap.
Good. All right.
Unless you have the allied colors, you get special toggle for but I think anyway, Void is coming in here, focusing that main hatchery, and it might actually go down.
Yeah.
So, the Hydralisks are coming. Oh,
the Hydras, yes, they came in just in time. I was about to say, like, unfortunately, Pacomike, he didn't have the ideal amount of Void Rays to pull that off. And to be fair, he almost got it. He almost killed that lair, and that would have been huge if he did it. But because he lost his Void Rays for free, now he doesn't have them to defend.
Yeah. I think to be fair, they won't be doing much defense, but they'll be up against Mass Hydralisk. You know? It'll be kind of useless anyway. I think that's why I felt comfortable sacrificing them in the first place.
Yeah, maybe. The problem is that he doesn't have anything to defend right now. Like, Charge isn't done. If Charge was done, then those Zealots would have done so much better against these Hydras. But now the ZergLord, he's just pushing on forward.
Shield batteries! What is wrong with Protoss?
He just didn't have any, and now he's stuck here. He does pull the poison. He does get a nice round on the Hydras, but...
yeah, the Hydralisks... I don't know. And they're deceptively tanky. They are light units, but they have a lot of health. So they can tank a little bit. Especially when they're in big numbers like that. And there are more reinforcements coming in across the map. Feedback on the Queen. It actually kills the Queen.
It did. Yo, Pacomike, he's doing whatever he can to survive right now. He needs to. His tournament life is on the line. And it looks like he just barely has enough to push the ZergLord away. But the ZergLord, he already dealt so much damage, and mate, he's just rallying across the map.
Yeah. Even taking a fourth base while this is going on, so... Yeah, the game is... Even if Pacomike survives here, the game is just going to escalate forward. Well, the Archons are out, so... Pacomike's in a decent situation here. But I don't see Pacomike doing a lot of damage across the map right now. And the one thing that Pacomike has going is that the ZergLord didn't do a lot of worker damage.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that the ZergLord was looking to kill Pacomike. That's why he went into the natural, because, you know, you want to push into the main. Because of that, the third base was left completely untouched. So Pacomike economically, like, he's, as you said, he's still pretty good. Like, he's actually ahead in work rates.
Yeah, Storm is about to finish. It's in about 30 seconds or something or so, and when that comes out, you know, the Hydralisks, they're in trouble. They're not going to be enough.
Exactly. The ZergLord is on a timer right now to deal some damage and to maybe end the game. He's continuing to reinforce this army, but again, it's not the biggest right now. Pacomike was a little bit out of position, so maybe he can make something happen, but yo, Storm is done.
Yeah. Depending, is just going to be stormed out of existence. Yep. Yeah, they tried to go for the High Templars, but they just splashed on the Immortal, and did not work.
Yeah, I mean, that was some nice control there by the ZergLord. He actually dove his Banelings onto the High Templar. He forced all the High Templar to turn into Archons, so no more Storms are available, but there wasn't enough of a follow-up, right? Like, if the ZergLord had enough Hydras, he could have kept pushing, but, like, his army is almost non-existent. Like, it's...
I think the ZergLord is pushing too far. You don't need to. You have 4 bases. You have map control. You have distance spread. I know I say never give the Protoss time, but in this case, you have such a great advantage, and now you're throwing your army away on a composition that is pretty much geared to deal with you. It's Icons and High Templars with Storm versus Ducklings. You're not going to break this.
It's one of those things that sure you don't want to give Protoss time, but you want to give yourself time, you know? And
yeah.
like the ZergLord, he is throwing away so much, GG gets called. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So sideways one.
Yeah. Like the ZergLord, the thing is that like he was not droning up, like he was still stuck at 50 drones for the longest time. Like he was quote unquote all in. Like he put himself all in, and wow, Pacomike killed, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like look at the army graph.
You know, Pacomike played the smart strategic play. He kept changing his composition. You know, he went with the Void Rays. ZergLord countered with a lot of Hydralisks. Pacomike realized, oh, you're going mass Hydralisk? I'm throwing all my Void Rays on a suicide attempt to try and take your main hatchery, while at the same time I'm transitioning into Archons and High Templars with a Storm. So your Hydralisks are pretty much meaningless now. And ZergLord just stayed on Lingbane Hydra against Archon, Immortal, and Storm. It just doesn't work. That's what I said. I mean, that's what I meant when I said ZergLord needs to like stay back, you know, expand, tech up, change something in the composition, because you can't just go against a hard counter and hope for the best.
Yeah, like honestly, like he probably could have brute forced it if he really, but the problem was that like he needed to like just back off and just, you know, bank up an army,
He
right? Like he needed to
he couldn't brute force because he didn't have enough brute force.
Exactly. Like he needed some time for himself to actually accrue a large enough army instead of just like coming in with like half of one and just like throwing it away, right? Like he was so, it felt like he was really rushed. Like it felt like he dealt a lot of damage early on, and he probably felt like, oh my god, I have this advantage. I need to go on it like ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It feels like the ZergLord was expecting Pacomike to get overwhelmed with the Hydralisks and just G out.
Yeah.
But Pacomike was like, wait a minute, you didn't kill any of my probes. Why would you G out? I have races. I'm running this entire time. I survived.
Yeah.
You know, it's on you to try and attack me.
Definitely.
You know, I'm a chill.
Oh boy.
Is that stand or me in chat again?
Yeah, exclamation mark Funara Dastan. He called you is
Do I want to know? Do I need to file a harassment?
You do.
Thing against him? I'm not comfortable with that stuff.
The Stan said.
Speaking of things,
you know, I wouldn't even translate.
I don't want to know. Speaking of things I'm not comfortable with, we are on Oxide LE. We're in the northeast corner of the map, all the way from the land of Mexico. Representing Alpha X, we have the Blue Protoss, Pacomike.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we are in the ace match. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is red, representing Team The Bad. It is the ZergLord. The Stan just wants to be loved.
When is the slideshow beginning here? Like my FPS goes from 1 to 60. Like it can't decide how many frames per second I have. But my ping is great, mate. My ping is like at less than 200. It's better than what I have to EU.
I was going to say that I mean, if you don't mind, this will be the last series or last game that we cast, and then Darking will jump in. You are still like pretty robotic. I would suggest hopefully you're able to sort out any issues by tomorrow, because tomorrow you are casting with Alex, if you don't forget. So yeah, I know what's going on.
But I have no idea what this. I just need to restart my computer, which is weird because I just turned it on less than an hour ago. So I don't understand what's going on. But it does seem like my computer hasn't really woken up. Maybe I opened like Battle.net a little too early for it. You know, you kind of need to let your Windows start up and stuff. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's
definitely my CPU. No, it's not my connection, because my connection seems to be pretty good.
Fair. Yeah, hopefully everyone give your energy to Steelmold's PC. Meanwhile, TheZergLord, he is mixing things up here. For the first time this series, he did not go for a 12 pool, but he is going for a very fast Roach Warren.
Yeah, and a quick start as well. So it's, pretty greedy into the mid game. Pacomike going with a Stargate. Stargate? Is that? It is. It is Stargate.
It is. So a couple of things that are important to note. TheZergLord cut drone production. I'm pretty sure this third base is just to deceive his opponent, just to make it look normal. Because again, like he's got 20 workers. Like he has not made any drones, mate. He's making nothing but roaches.
Yeah, it is about to finish. A lot of Ducklings. That's gonna be Ravagers and Ducklings, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Ravagers to break the siege, and Zerg to support.
Oh boy.
Voidra is out though, and an adept at the gate.
Yeah. Thankfully, Pacomike is aware of what's coming his way. He's throwing down the second pylon. He needs more shield batteries though. He sees the army, and one Void Ray is good and all, but you need more than that.
He's targeting the options already, so that's good. Unit here, another is coming out as well. The chase in, and the wall is closed. So this is just a matter of time as the Void Rays kill those units one by one. Take their time, they don't. Yeah. ZergLord realizes this is not going anywhere. GG's out.
Yeah, oh my god, Pacomike, he was just able to get his second Void Ray out. Also, I want to praise Pacomike on his SimCity. He was throwing down all the pylons, all the gateways. He was trying to wall off as best he could just to make sure the Lings didn't slip in. And as we saw, they didn't. Pacomike, solid hold.
Yes, very nicely done. Yeah, I like the decoy. I fell for it. I thought ZergLord was going to play an honorable micro game, but nah. Nah,
mate.
No, I was not.
Just for live edge.
Yeah, Pacomike did not fall for that though, so good for him. He knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm impressed. Like, Pacomike things were looking really scary for him in this series. Like, he lost game number 1, right? And I was like, oh my god, like, not like this Pacomike, not like this, but he made it through, and he made it all the way to the finals. Like, wow, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, so now just waiting for versus Jim White to finish. They are out of game. They're setting up a lobby.
Yes, they are. But yeah. I mean, I would say thank you for joining me, Steelmold. I'm going to cast the rest of the tournament with Darking. Darking is going to join me now that he has finished his admin duties. But yeah, thank you so much. And you're actually going to be casting tomorrow as well on the CranKy Ducklings.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be in chat for GPO later on today, so comment. Thank you all for watching.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Steelmold, and look after your PC. Look after it.
Yeah, I'm doing to figure out what the hell is going on. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you so much. Much love to Steelmold. I appreciate it. Again, I've been, solo casting the majority of this tournament. I apologize for all the technical issues. Again, I'm not too sure what's going on. I hope everything's okay with Steelmold. As we are setting up for the upper semi-finals. Here we go. As I'm switching out, I'm switching out one old man for another. Welcome, Darking, to the stream.
How dare you? What do you mean, old man?
I love you, Darking. Well, welcome. Mate.
Not enough, apparently.
Mate, what a series, that last one. Yo, I was worried for Paquito.
I mean, yeah, sure. It was a very intense series, the last one. I'm not sure why the ZergLord tried to be so aggressive this matchup. Maybe he's really afraid of Pacomike late game Golden Armada. Probably. Or maybe just because on game 1 it works so well.
Yeah, I like, especially game 2, right? Like it felt like all the ZergLord had to do after breaking the natural was just back off and drone up, and he would have been in a really good place, right? Like,
yes, I agree, and he didn't, and well, here we are.
Exactly.